is over.
Happy Thursday, everyone. And this Thursday is a special Thursday because talk about coming full circle, man. We are officially full circle, Jeff. We are officially right back where we started all this back in March with a wrestling award show. We called it the T.I.G.S Awards. This is good shit. Yes. And we are ready to go. Hope you guys are all ready to go as well. This should be a fun show. You guys, again, this is all about you. You voted. These are your awards, just as they were last year when we first started this all, Jeff. I can't believe it's been that long already, man. It's crazy.
I know. It's absolutely insane. I mean, it's absolutely insane. It really is.
Yeah, I cannot believe that way back in March we were doing this for the first time, and we started it all with an award show for the year of 2019. And it's unbelievable that we are here for 2020 now and just starting it right all over again. It's amazing, man. It's been amazing. Welcome to everyone. We hope you are all doing well. Welcome to the show. I hope you were out on the red carpet. I hope you got all your espressos and drinks out there, and maybe you saw some celebrities on the way, or maybe you saw some wrestlers out there on the way. And I'm glad you're here tonight for the show and our award show. So let me see who's here. Let me welcome in some people. Let's see who's all in that's Texas-based wrestling fan. 1442 says first. Jody Gilly is here, says second. Hello, Jody. The Sapphire's here. Hello to you. Jason Peace, good evening. Johnny Anderson says, hey, what's up, Johnny? Big Dan is here. Big Dan is in the house. He says Tazzy is here. It's an Insiders T.I.G.S Awards party, baby. Yes, it is. Tazzy said awesome thumbnail. Yes, Jeff, that is an awesome thumbnail. I loved it. Who else? Chris is here. Hello, Chris. Butterspark's here. Hello to you. There's Sunny Wolf. Hey. Hello, Sunny. How are you? Hayden is here. Hi, Hayden. Welcome. Hope you are well. What is that? B-A-S-T-Y. Bass Ty says hi. Hello, Ty. How are you? Rusty Shackelford is here. Hello, Rusty. Good evening to you. Gust is here. Says this is good. Shoot. Yes, it is. Let's see who else. Days Fan's here. Hello, Days Fan. How are you tonight? Who else is here joining us? Sean Rousset is here. Jacoby Snow, hello to you. Hello, Big Dan again. Chad, hello, Chad. Chad talking about the show last night. Jeff, it was fun last night. A lot of funny comments from Chris. Yes, I'm sure there were.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there were. Elijah is here. Hello, Elijah. Welcome to the show. So yes, it was absolutely, get that up there. Yes. It was a night last night, and we would have been talking probably all about it tonight had we not had our awards to cover. So I'm sure in the future and in our next podcast we will get to that because we will have a lot to cover. Some quick ground to cover. So the rest of this week, obviously tomorrow night you have Tazzy with his tailgate party, and you also have his after party for SmackDown. So make sure you join him. And Saturday, we have got, and this always reminds me of Star Trek 2, Genesis. We have Genesis on Saturday, which with the X Division, it looks like it's going to be a heck of a show. And they made some more matches for this the other night, too. So this is going to be a ball. Don't forget to join us on Saturday night for Genesis Impact Plus. Make sure you get it. They give you a free month, so you may as well go out and get it. If you didn't already, you can get it on Fight TV as well. But make sure you join us Saturday night for Genesis Con. I know, Butterspark. That's what I think of every time I hear it. Con! Yes. Lori's here. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Lori, what's going on? But yeah, so join us for Genesis. And then, of course, we start the week back over. Sunday, we don't have anything. Monday, of course, Abby's Window. And then Tuesday, we go back to Impact for the follow-up show from Genesis. Wednesday night, nothing on Wednesday this week. Then Thursday, we'll be back to our normal podcast where we'll talk about all the news and stuff from the week. And then we go to the pay-per-view that everyone is talking about. That is next Saturday, and that is the one where we will see Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers team up against the Motor City Machine Guns and Rich Swann, and many, many other matches that they have made for that, which are going to be absolutely amazing. I mean, do we see the Young Bucks now at that pay-per-view? It's possible. This is just going and going and going, and it's amazing. It really is cool to see it. So Genesis reminds me more of Tecmo Bowl. Yeah, the Sega Genesis, absolutely. All right, so we are here for an awards show. So let's get started with the awards, shall we? So our first T.I.G.S award of the year is Male Superstar of the Year. Male Superstar of the Year. Eric Buchanan says the legend himself has arrived. Hello, Eric. How are you? Hope you are doing well. All right. So, again, you guys voted. We had votes for some of these categories in two different places. Some of them were voted on in the poll that we had that I let out there where you could go and vote for like 10 categories. Some of them were voted on prior on Twitter. So I tabulated all of them, combined them all together, and the results we got were, again, from you guys. So we will read your result and award that, and then Jeff and I will talk about who we picked, whether we agreed with you or whether maybe we had a little bit something different in our minds for the Superstar of the Year and the other awards. So without further ado, Male Superstar of the Year, Butterspark saying Marco Stunt. I'm kind of thinking no. Eric saying Roman or Drew or Fiend. Hayden saying Drew. Rusty saying Drew. Sapphire saying Drew. Jeff, reveal the Male Superstar of the Year.
Well, first, I've got to do this cool little thing because I just put it together. So here we go. Here we go.
And the winner is...
Oh, yes. You guys called it. It is Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is your award winner for Male Superstar of 2020. So, the second person who got the most votes, so your second place was indeed Jon Moxley from AEW. I think there were a couple onesies here and there, but it was overwhelmingly Drew McIntyre, and Jon Moxley ended up second. So congratulations to Drew McIntyre. He had an amazing 2020 without a doubt. I mean, coming all the way that he did, we watched that little thing before WrestleMania that he had, the video and stuff like that. So we kind of saw where he came from. We know the struggles that he had where he was actually let go. And then he came back. So, congratulations to him. He had the best year of his career without a doubt. And yeah, a lot of people kind of said it sucked because he did it in front of no fans, which a lot of people were saying they, should have had the fans in there to see it. But look, it's still a huge year for him. And I'm sure he's got nothing but, a bright future ahead of him. So Jeff, we'll talk about who we think it is, but I mean, Drew's pretty deserving pick.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really argue with this. The year that he had, despite the absence of crowds, it just goes to show how well he did throughout the year. You could definitely throw in some other folks from other places. But yeah, Drew is definitely deserving of this for sure. Not a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tremendous, a tremendous year for him, with no question. I mean, he did lose the title for a little bit, so he didn't carry it for the entire time. He lost it to Randy, who carried it for a few weeks there. But other than that little blip, he really he was one of the people who carried them through COVID. And you'll notice that a lot of this, of course, is kind of, these awards are a little bit skewed. They're always going to have an asterisk next to them because this was the year of no fans. So the fact that he was able to carry the company for that long period of time on his shoulders, it says a lot. So definitely deserving of that. So Jeff, did you have another pick that you would have gone with here, or are you agreeing with the guys' votes?
I mean, I definitely got a couple honorable mentions.
Okay.
Definitely Moxley for sure.
Yep.
But I also got to give love to our guy, Eric Young.
Oh, man, yeah.
What he's done since Slammiversary has been absolutely insane. So, so definitely got to throw those two guys in the mix. But I have no disagreements with Drew taking this.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement there too. And like you said, Moxley, of course, carried AEW as well once he beat Jericho for that title. And he held that title for quite a long time and took on all comers in AEW. So I can't really argue with the second place finisher either. I mean, yeah, Eric Young's a great pick. Rich Swann would have been a good pick too, although he wasn't in there as long as Eric Young was. So yeah, I really
he's fan bringing up Randy Orton. Randy had a 2020 that was just unreal. So I mean, you can throw his name in there too.
He did. Yeah, absolutely. Randy killed it. I mean, if we had an award for heel of the year, no doubt. No doubt. And Randy did have a tremendous year. Some people are mentioning Roman Reigns. Yeah, I mean, the thing is Roman just came in after WrestleMania, so he wasn't there for most of the year. He wasn't around for like 4 months or so. He was kind of only around for half of it. So, and again, not to take anything away from what Roman has done and is doing, but, I just think that the people who have been there for the majority of the year, I think that's where we'd go. And some people are saying The Fiend, Bray had a great year as well. No question. And people were saying that, between him and Drew, Randy are the people that are constantly mentioned that carry WWE. So, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So, yeah, I think we're in agreements, and I think that's a good choice for male superstar of the year, definitely. So, all right. Award number 2 is, well, we had female superstar of the year. Absolutely, man. Where would we be today without the women's divisions in wrestling, man? It is crazy. I'm going back, I'm dating myself, but when I used to watch wrestling in the 80s, man, you were lucky to see a woman's match, every now and then, in the early 80s. And it was all, one match here or there, maybe at a WrestleMania, you'd get a title match and stuff like that. And that was it. So these women are absolutely killing it. It's fun to watch. As a fan, I absolutely love it. So let's see. We're seeing Deanna or Bailey, says Lori. Alexa Bliss, says Sapphire. Bailey, Sasha, or Asuka, says Eric. Joshua Mickelson saying Asuka. Who else is saying things in the chat? All right, man. I think it is time for the big reveal.
All right. Let's do this, man.
And the winner is...
There she is.
There we go.
Bailey. Man, I mean, she had a stellar run. And again, you can't say that the woman did not carry the women's division through, look, when they lost Becky Lynch, a superstar of her caliber, when they lost Charlotte Flair to an injury, another superstar of her caliber, Bailey and Sasha during the tag team times, Bailey carried it. There's no question about it. She was, and listen, man, it's hard for me to say sometimes because I said I couldn't stand it. There were times, but like Jeff said, that's what she was doing. She was doing her job, and she was making you hate her. And you know what? She did a great job of it, man. She really, really did. And she carried this division for quite a while. The second place finisher in this award was actually Io Shirai. So Io Shirai from NXT was the second place finisher for Female Superstar of the Year. So there were some votes in there as well for Thunder Rosa. Obviously, you know, the first part of the year with NWA and winning that NWA women's title. Let's not forget she had some amazing, and we've gone back to these matches with her. She had 2 amazing title matches that were out of this world. So Thunder Rosa had herself a great year. Hikaru Shida had an amazing year in AEW. I mean, look, these women have been amazing, and we have seen some amazing women matches. The NXT In Your House match where Io won the title. Oh, dude, and that Charlotte was in that match, I think, as well. She went down and did that.
And Rhea, and Rhea
Ripley. Oh, it's so good. And like I said, man, the women's division are absolutely killing it. And I mean, look, Impact. You had Jordan Grace the first part of the year. Now, Deonna Purrazzo, of course. Lori mentioned her. Deonna was their female wrestler of the year in Impact. So, man, they have, it's so exciting to see. And just so awesome to see. And this is, you know, Jeff and I harped on this all year. This is the one thing we have said that AEW's got to get straightened out, because they really have some great women there, great female athletes there that they need the spotlight. Last night we saw Abaddon go for the title. So, you know, bring that a little more to the forefront in AEW, because they really have the people there. Jeff, I mean, what are you thinking about Bayley winning, man?
I don't have any disagreements with it. She definitely carried WWE for quite some time. You know, there's just so much that she did, not only from an in-ring perspective, but, you know, her promos and then the storyline with her and Sasha was great. But my pick is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be Bayley. So
okay, fair enough. I little teaser for what Jeff's gonna say. A little bit. Hello, C Wrestling. How are you? Thank you for joining. Yeah, look, this one. There were other people definitely in contention. There really were, and this one was a little bit more difficult because there were so many amazing, you know, women that stepped up. I mean, you know, some people out there, some of you guys voted for Sasha. And as I said, Sasha was right up there with Bayley as well, carrying, you know, them with that tag team they had, and they had the tag team titles for a while. But you know, while it is hard to vote against Bayley and what she did for WWE, I think my choice here, man, this is so tough because I'm so on the fence. Like Thunder Rosa would be right up there for me because of those 2 matches that she had and carried that title. Man, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna say I think my pick would be, I think it's Deonna. I really think it's Deonna. Deonna carried Impact and really carried that women's title. She had an amazing year. When she came over there, obviously, you know where she came from. Yep. She had some amazing battles against some amazing women. Her and Jordan Grace's matches were absolute fire. And then, of course, she went through the women's division. The only person she really didn't fight was Taya, who she's fighting soon. So she ran through Rose, you know, she went through Rosemary, she went through Su Yung, she went through, you know, so she had some amazing matches and had an amazing year. And I don't think you could deny that. So I would have gone, I think, with Deonna Purrazzo here. What about you?
Right there. That's exactly who I was going to pick. And for every reason that you mentioned, I mean, she came in. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people who didn't know very much about her was they were just like, oh, she's just another person on their roster. She'll just add a little bit of depth, but nothing major. And then, I think I might even said to you, like, watch out for Deanna. I think she's going to hold the title at some point. I think she's going to be the person that takes it off of Jordan Grace.
Yep.
And then it happened. And then it's like, okay, now they're letting her really be who she is. And my gosh, I mean, she's just absolutely killed it all year. And I mean, it just goes to show that sometimes a change of scenery is all you need to flourish. And that's what she's done. And I can't wait to see what she does in 2021. And here's the thing, folks. Not only did she win Knockout of the Year for Impact, she won Wrestler
of the Year.
Wrestler of the Year.
That was really impressive. Yeah, that was really impressive, man. And good. It was great to see. And I think a lot of people had said that after that show. They were like, wow. I mean, she got Wrestler of the Year. So, yeah, great point, Jeff. Great point. But yeah, so well, there you go. So Jeff and I are in agreement. We both thought Deonna Purrazzo. Lori said Deonna's the reason I started watching Impact. I couldn't wait for her to shine. Yeah, man. Elijah says Deonna has potential to beat Taya, to put her over the top. I guess you're saying to beat. I mean, that's going to be an amazing match.
Oh yeah,
her and Taya Valkyrie is going to be an absolutely amazing match. So, yeah, but so many great female athletes here. And again, it's so awesome to talk about. You don't have, normally this would be dominated by your Beckys, by Charlotte, when you had Ronda Rousey, but it's nice to see that it's getting spread out. It's getting, you're seeing it in the other, you're seeing it in AEW, you're seeing it in Impact, you're seeing these women spread out, and they're making they're making a case for themselves in these other on these other wrestling shows. So really, really cool to see. Really, really cool to see. Looks like a lot of you guys kind of agreed. A lot of you picked Bailey. Sonny Will said Abaddon. Abaddon's had a killer year, man. Who would have thought, with the gimmick that she has, that she came up and did what she did. Asuka, of course, some of you mentioned Asuka. Yeah, I mean, she was Becky Lynch's choice to be her successor. And she's had the title. So yeah, other than that little, blip, whatever the heck that was when she lost to Sasha, which wasn't even really a loss. It was just Sasha just stole a belt. But yeah, some of you said Sheeta, some of you said, yeah. It's just been an amazing year for female wrestlers, and it's so cool to see. Really, really excited to see what is coming forward. And I'm sure Chad Schrader said Jazz. I mean, look, we got Jazz back. We got Ember Moon back. Again, it's so cool. There are so many. Some of you said Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi's been killing it down there lately. Man, it is. Go ahead, dude.
And Joe, I don't even know if I told you this or if you heard it. They're doing a Dusty Classic for the women in NXT.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So the men starts next week, but then they're doing the women's Dusty Classic as well.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. And it's, I mean, we thought that this was at the pinnacle when we saw that they had a separate pay-per-view for the women in WWE, but man, oh man, it has really caught fire. Now we're going to have the main event match for the women, the Knockouts tag team belts as well coming up. So I mean, and that's going to be an amazing match also. So just looking up for women's wrestling, and it is amazing to see. So congrats to Bailey. She had an awesome year, without a doubt, an awesome year. So, all right, let's get to our next This Is Good Shit Award and Promotion of the Year. All right, well, who's got it, Jeff? Who is the winner for promotion?
You ready to go to the winner?
Let's go to the winner.
Let's go to the winner, man.
And the winner is...
Uh-oh. Where is it? Did we lose Jeff? Uh-oh. Where's the winner?
Gotta love technology, man.
Hey, where's the winner?
Everybody's like, "Where, Jeff? Where the heck is the winner, Jeff? Where the heck is the winner?"
There it is. They forgot the envelope. Well, as you can see, hey, all of the good award shows have stupid moments. They drop envelopes. Well, as you can see on that shot there, and of course, God rest his soul, Mr. Brody Lee. This was really crazy. This vote, right? This vote was 1% close. AEW, congrats to the new promotion. The new kids on the block won the promotion of the year. And you know who came in second? And it is not WWE. Impact Wrestling came in second. AEW number one, Impact Wrestling was right behind them, 1% behind. So WWE finished third, and a distant third. It wasn't that close. It was not that close. So this was incredible to me. When I saw, and again, we put out that little poll for this, but then, we had the other poll as well. When I saw the results for these, I was absolutely shocked. If you would have told me that AEW and Impact would have been 1 and 2 on our awards this year for promotion of the year, there's no way I would have believed it. No way I would have believed it. It's awesome because for me, the fact that I like to think, Jeff, that we maybe had a little bit to do, just a little bit to do with the Impact vote, which that's awesome. But look, AEW, man, look, they were new kids on the block. They came out strong. They had Jericho as their mouthpiece, and it just went from there. And those of you who are AEW fans, look, people love it, man. Like it or hate it, you may not always say great things about it. Jeff and I have not. But they have got a huge fan base. There are people that absolutely, they love the show. They tune in every single week, and they've done some good things. And now you've got this storyline developing, like you guys were talking about in the chat earlier. What happened last night? You're going to get even more eyes on this product. They brought Sting back. You're going to get more eyes on the product. And now you have Gallows and Anderson show up on an AEW show. Look, I mean, kudos, and the fans voted. So, yeah, man. And Impact, I absolutely love the fact that you guys voted for Impact as close as you did. They have had, Jeff and I have said this over and over and over again. And I kind of think I know what Jeff's pick for number one's going to be. And I kind of think I know what mine's going to be too. And I'll just reveal it right now. I would have flip-flopped it. There's no question to me that Impact is number one here. You guys voted. And like I said, this is your votes. So AEW won the award. Fair and square with the votes, but I would have flip-flopped it. I would have said Impact Wrestling was number one. They, from Slammiversary on, from the time that I was watching it, and I didn't even see this stuff early in the year, to me, have absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it. Every single, look, when I have not said that a show of theirs was boring, when I have not said that I had to look away and I didn't care about watching a certain show here and there, that to me tells me that I'm enjoying a promotion. But their pay-per-views were stellar. The storylines were a lot of fun, and Impact was my number one, Jeff. So go ahead, man. What did you think about the vote? Obviously, super close, super close. And what would your number one have been here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really surprised that that AEW and Impact are 1 and 2. Not surprised at all that WWE was a distant third, to be honest with you. There were good moments throughout the year. in WWE,
Sure.
but WWE lacked consistency, and that's the name of the game. And to be honest with you, with what we saw last night from AEW, it would not surprise me if next year, this time when we're doing this, AEW is right there again, and so is Impact. So, you know, again, they both of them knocked it out of the park. They continue to do so. Not really surprised with the votes, but like you said, my number one, Impact. You know, that for me, Impact has been the most consistent show week to week. And that's not a slight to AEW or WWE. But for me, that they've just been the most consistent. And you know, everybody's entitled to their opinions, and you like what you like, and you know, there's no right or wrong, honestly. But for me, I just feel like you know, Impact has just been more consistent. And you know, we always talk about why we love Impact so much. But one of the great things is they have storylines for everyone. They have something for everyone. Whether you like comedic stuff, whether you like the in-ring product, they have it all. So for me, Impact was number one, but I can definitely see people voting for AEW. No qualms about that at all. I get it. They had a great year, and to be honest with you, I think 2021 is going to be even crazier for them.
I think so too. I think so. See, the cool thing about all this is, and I see people getting a little chippy in the chat. You don't have to do that. I mean, you know, we're not banning anyone. We're not doing that. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. That's what awards are. You know, people get a little chippy. I know, you know, you watch the Oscar awards and people get chippy because your favorite movie didn't win. Look, the point is here, and this is what I think is amazing. Last year, AEW had just first been starting. They were only around for a few months, right, when the awards came around. And also, nobody probably would have thought twice about including Impact in an award. So the cool thing here,
even though there was a little birdie that said about 6 months ago, at the end of 2020, people are going to be saying something about Impact. I don't know. You might have said that, but just saying.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I mean, I think it's awesome that there are choices. People, listen, guys, you can like what you like. There are many of you who love WWE and you are diehard WWE, and that's fine. That's fine. You can like what you like. But just the fact that there are choices out there now, so that if you are not a fan of what WWE is doing, and God knows I went on my little rant and I was not fond of what they did the other night on Raw, I have a choice. I can shut it off and I can go and watch something else. And to me, the fans win when that happens. Everyone wins when that happens. So I think that's awesome. I think it's absolutely awesome that there are choices. And you know what, guys? Competition makes it better. You guys, if you were watching Nitro versus Raw, they made each other better because they were competing. There was competition, and they couldn't, you know. So who wins? The fans do. So I absolutely love it. I think it's great. Yeah, let's keep everything respectful, please, in the chat. In the chat, this is a friendly show. It's an award show. It's not a war. We're not going to war against people because they don't like what other people like. So, yes. All right. Let's get to our next award. I knew that one would be a little bit controversial, and it turned out it was.
Controversial there,
Turned out it was. Rumble season, guys. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Yes. Enjoy. Like I said, like what you like. All right. Next award is Cinematic Match of the Year. What?
Do we just go ahead and unveil it?
Go ahead.
Just unveil it.
Unveil it.
All right, I'm still gonna play where he is because just because.
The winner is
What is it? What is it?
Oh, I mean,
Oh, of course. Of course. I think we can pretty much all agree on this one. So there might have been a little bit of arguing out there, but I think everyone's going to agree on this one. How cool was it we got cinematic matches? I mean, again, this is another thing that, yes, COVID was horrible and, no fans, but listen, you would never have gotten this had there been fans attending these wrestling events. If there were fans, if there were people at Mania, if there were people at Royal Rumble, you would never, ever have gotten cinematic matches. And how good were some of these matches, man? Of course, this one won it pretty much by a landslide. Wasn't really close. The next closest to it was Bray's Firefly Funhouse match with John Cena. When I went back down the list that I was gathering the matches for this, I was shocked at how many of them there were, and some of them I actually forgot. Like the match that AEW had where they were out in the middle of the football field, and they were going backstage there. The swamp fight, of course. The tables, ladders, and chairs, the corporate one where they were fighting up the building. You had some in NXT, the parking lot brawl between who was it, Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream, I think that was. You had some in Impact.
And Ciampa.
Yeah, Gargano, and you had the one with EC3 and Moose in Impact. So it was just so cool to see some of this stuff, and it's great to see like what kind of, to me almost. And I know this will always be a fan, wrestling will always be a fan-driven thing. But I don't think this is going away. I really don't. I don't think they're going to use it as much when the fans come back, but I don't think it's going away. And, I mean, there's rumblings we're going to get as soon as the Rumble, another Firefly Funhouse match. That's what's being talked about. So this isn't going to go away. And I think even when the fans do come back, I think there's going to be – you won't get them often, but you will still get these things. And the Boneyard, man, I'm going, talking to Jeff during this match and right after this match, I just sat back in my chair and I was like, wow, what a match. And what a way for Undertaker to retire. What a way for a legend to walk away from the business. It was like an actor getting to film like the best film of his career and then walking out the door and retiring afterward. What a way for him to end his career. So glad that he did that. We weren't sure. And there's still some little bit of doubt there that maybe, Vince will break the glass one day, but I really hope not, because there's no better way for him to walk away than this match. So, yeah. Jeff, I mean, what can you say? This match was just incredible. 2 nights, was just absolutely incredible, man. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I promise I'm not trying to brag, but I just remember watching this match and texting you immediately saying, "This has to be the way Taker ends his career, because this is a masterpiece." I mean, it really was. And you can listen. You want to throw in the Stadium Stampede match from AEW? Go right ahead, because that was brilliant as well. It was funny. It was very well done. You can throw that out there as well. Money in the Bank, it was hilarious.
Oh my God, Brother Love.
Like all of that was great. The Firefly Funhouse match was tremendous. And shoot, man, that that Moose EC3
Oh man, so good.
encounter, it was so
good.
freaking good. So I mean,
they brought Rammstein back to my life,
Yeah.
and I didn't know I needed them.
yeah.
Oh man,
But
so good.
honestly, for me, and you can honestly throw in the match between Sammy Guevara and Matt at the Hard
Hardy.
Knock as well.
Yep.
But for me, the Boneyard match was just a masterpiece, and it holds a special place in my heart because honestly, hopefully it's the last time we see Taker, and and not because I want him to retire, but because if he's happy with that as the final impression in his in-ring career, then I'm happy with it too, and just let the man ride off into the sunset. So
yeah, no better way to go out. And when I looked at this list, there was really nothing else I could have voted for. Nothing else I could have voted for because I mean, while I love some of those others, like Jeff said, and enjoyed a lot of it, there was nothing that topped this, and no better way that the Undertaker could have gone out. No better way. Riding off into the sunset on that bike with the Taker logo lit up in the background. No better way he could have gone out. And I'm sure that's going to go down as the way. I mean, we talk about like other athletes in other sports and stuff like that. People say when a quarterback wins the Super Bowl and he retires, like that's the biggest way and best way you can go out. That's kind of what this was. I mean, he absolutely won. This was the best way he could have gone out, and man, he could look back at his career. And he could say, I walked out after that. And there aren't many wrestlers that are going to walk away from this business with a better match than that. Amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. Loved it. I hope we see more of these in the future. We'll see. But I enjoy them. I think they're really good. And I think it really showcases the talent of these guys. And look, this isn't easy stuff. I mean, you heard Taker say you're on your feet all day long. You're on your feet for 8 to 12 hours. That is what actors do when they are doing movies and filming this kind of stuff. You are on your feet all day, so it's no picnic, and you're filming takes, you're doing things over and over and over and over again until you get it right. This was amazing. And let's not forget some of the stuff that spawned too. I mean, you had Matt Hardy doing the thing with Ryzen before he made his choice of where he was going with AEW. So you had that, the Ultimate Deletion. You had some other stuff. Talking Shop wouldn't exist without cinematic matches. So, look, I think it's great. I really do. And I think that you'll see this live on regardless of whether or not we get fans back. So awesome. And I think you guys are pretty much all in agreement out there too. All of you are talking about the Boneyard as well. Some of you mentioning some other things. You said that I didn't think Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole in the backlot brawl wasn't bad. Big Boy Dally, hello to you, by the way. There's some we even forget. You remember the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits and the Ninjas?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I mean, some of them were absolutely insane.
Good. They were fun.
Yeah. I mean, they were crazy, absolutely crazy. But it was fun and it was different. So, and Dr. Britt Baker. What about the match in her dentist office?
Yeah,
with her and Big Swole.
Yeah, that was great, man.
So much fun. So much fun. Shooting her with what did she shoot her with the gas and stuff like that and knock her out with the gas at the end of that? It was a lot of fun. So, all right, man. What is our next award, Jeff?
Return of the Year.
All right, Return of the Year. So,
we ready?
Guys, start guessing. Who was your Return of the Year? Here we go. Who is the winner of Return of the Year?
All right, here we go.
Oh, man. Sonny says gotta be Edge. Hayden says Edge. Goldberg speared down the door says Edge. John Ricky Hubbard says Shark Boy. Oh,
I knew we got to get at least one from John Ricky every time.
We got to get one Shark Boy out there. Edge. Yeah, man. Big Boy wants me to remember the Haunted House of Terror match. Joe doesn't want to remember that one. That's a forgettable one. That's a forgettable one for me. But thank you for reminding me now. Return of the year. Elijah says the Motor City Machine Guns.
Can't
Okay.
argue with that.
Yeah, man. I mean, there were some other choices here, but this was big. They kept it hidden. You know, people were guessing a little bit, but they really didn't know. And they went through the Rumble, and then all of a sudden, dude, the reaction to this was amazing. The reaction was amazing. When you saw the fans, and they still, excuse me, they still show the fans, you know, in different perspectives. When the fans heard that music hit, and you heard the, you know, you think you know me. Oh man, everybody just went bananas. And look, who wasn't just like, you know, super excited to see him come back? You know, when this man had to retire with tears in his eyes because of injuries, and everybody kind of knew, man, he was at the top of his game. You know, he wasn't some guy who'd been around forever and ever and overstayed his welcome. He was at the top of his game, and had to retire because of the, you know, the way he did come out and do that. To see him make it back was absolutely amazing. And a shame, you know, he did get injured again. A shame he did, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be back, and the rumors are already there that he's going to be back. You saw the rated R thing, that the promo that he cut, but this was an absolutely amazing return. Gamer Guy says MVP. Yeah, MVP was on the list. MVP got a few votes. So yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, we had Jazz on that list. So that there were some good people on that list that returned. Ember Moon obviously was another big one. But this one, just unbelievable, Jeff. And again, to me, I can't argue. This was pretty much overwhelming, the overwhelming winner.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people might be talking about the Snow Miser. I'm sorry, I mean Sting.
The guy who makes the snow. Yes,
Florida. I've been a lifelong Sting fan, like since he was in Blade Runner. So obviously he has a special place in my heart. You can't really argue with MVP because the man resurrected not only his career, but Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley. If you really want to be honest about it, the Hurt Business would not be what it is without MVP. Period. Mm-hmm. But Edge returning after all of us thought that his career was completely over.
Yep.
We are blessed that he got to do this in front of fans in 2020.
Yep.
I mean, that's how long it feels, you know, away from now, is that he actually returned in front of fans in 2020.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was so crazy, crazy. But honestly, like I'm not ashamed to admit it. When Edge returned and I saw the look in his eyes, I shed a tear because you could look on his face and tell he was like, "Holy crap, I'm back."
Yeah.
And let's not act like he just went back and stayed around for like 5 or 6 minutes. Dude was in the final 4 of the Rumble last year.
Right. Yeah, he was.
So I mean, you know, he not only did he come back, but you know, he looked great and he turned in a great performance. So for me, no question about it. Edge was definitely my number one.
Yeah, I don't think you could go any other way. Some people are saying Roman. Yeah, Roman's return was great. But again, like I said, I think next year we'll probably be talking a lot about Roman Reigns, I'm sure, just for the fact that he's going to be back. He'll have been here a full year. You know, we kind of got him toward the tail end. So the fact that you got Edge right at the beginning of the year, like Jeff said, I mean, hard to remember that was 2020 and there were fans in the building. Tazzy said, almost broke my couch when Ed came back. Yeah, it was that kind of. See, that's the thing. It was that kind of a moment. It was absolutely that kind of a moment, and that's why I love the Rumble. And to this day, it's one of my favorite events to watch every single year because you're always going to get those surprises. You're always going to get, and when they don't come, it's like you're kind of like, you know, when you don't see that. but you're always going to get those crazy surprises in the Rumble. So and I'm sure we'll see more this year as well. And now we have 2 Rumbles. You have the men's and the women's. So, who knows? I mean, who are we going to see this year? And it's always a talking point, and that's absolutely why I love the event, because it's just, you just don't know. And no one knew. They kept this such a surprise that everybody was just, and to see that, like Jeff said, the shock on people's faces when they heard that noise and people marking out in that arena, like shaking, that they were so excited in that arena when you heard that music hit. That's amazing. And it's something I am sure that Edge will remember for the rest of his career, regardless of what he does, regardless of whether he wins another title or not. He'll never forget that moment. Yeah. And I'm sure it's going to be one of the best moments in his career that he's ever had. So,
and we might as well go ahead and mention this one too, because this one also won OMG moment of the year for us.
Yeah. Yes, it did. Yeah, there we had another award too. Yes, it was OMG moment. And yeah, this was a winner of that too. That one was a little bit closer because I think we had actually Bray, the Fiend, being lit on fire was the second place finisher for that. But yes, that did win the OMG moment of the year. And yeah, well deserved, man. Absolutely well deserved, and it was without a doubt. I mean, one of those things where you sit there and you're like, oh my God, that was this. So yeah, well deserved. So yes, this was a dual winner. 2 T.I.G.S awards to Edge for his return and for OMG moment of the year. Mickey James, said Rusty. Yeah,
you marked out for Mickey.
We did, and you know what? Now she's a legend. Like that fast, she's now a legend. I have no idea what they're doing with Mickey James. I kind of feel bad for her in a way. But all right. So what is next, Jeff?
All right, man. So we've got pay-per-view of the year.
Pay-per-view of the year. All right, guys. Who do you think it is? What was your pay-per-view of the year, Jeff? Who is the winner?
Well, we have a tie.
Oh,
so
fun.
The first is WrestleMania 36.
2-night WrestleMania for the very first time ever. 2-night WrestleMania. And it was we'll talk a little bit about it, but there you go. So there's one part of the tie. Who was the other?
And the Rumble.
Oh man. So 2 WWE events tied for the event of the year. Well, again, the Rumble, we talked about it already, with Edge return and we talked about it with Edge's return. We talked about that, and so many good things at the Rumble. And again, I love the Rumble. And then, of course, the 2-night WrestleMania was just when we heard that it was going to be 2 nights. When we heard, we weren't even sure they were going to have it because, of course, that's when COVID happened. And you all watched that movie that WWE has about the road to WrestleMania from this year. And, news had spread that they couldn't do it and that fans couldn't be there. And, so they had to scramble and they ended up doing it at the Performance Center because they wanted to have the show and they felt like they should have the show. And we got some amazing moments from it. Obviously, the Funhouse match. We got the Boneyard. We got the amazing match between, Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, which was absolutely awesome. We got, oh my goodness, what else? I'm sure it's Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens jumping off that WrestleMania sign, which he had said that he planned in advance to do. Pretty cool. And yeah, I kind of dug it because a lot of times with Mania, it gets to be just too much. There's just too much going on. There's too many matches. Some of the matches get kind of wasted because it's like, I'm going to walk away now and go get something to drink. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to take a little break. And you kind of walk away from some of the matches. But being that they split it up and it became a 2-night thing. I think that just added to the excitement of it a little bit because it made it a little bit different, and you got to see kind of almost like you watched two different shows. So really, really cool. And of course, when Drew obviously won the title from Brock, yeah, I mean, big stuff going on at both of these. Jeff and I may have a little bit of a different choice here, though, so we'll see, because there were a lot of other great ones out there, man. There were a lot of other great pay-per-views this year, and not just WWE. There were a lot of them. This one, the vote on this one was kind of scattered, really. These two won, but the votes were pretty close. There were close second, close third. They weren't that far away from one another. Jeff, I mean, what did you think? I mean, the choices were good. They really were good. But I think, again, and I said this before, as a fan, you got to take your hats off to these companies for dealing with this pandemic like they did and still able to entertain us with some absolutely amazing shows.
Listen, I can't argue with these two, and I'm really happy that you guys picked these two. But for me, Slammiversary. Honestly, Slammiversary was tremendous because we got great matches. We got great surprises. And, I mean, you can really throw Bound for Glory in there, too. I mean, it's almost a tie between those two for me. WWE had some great shows. AEW had some great pay-per-views as well.
NXT had some amazing pay-per-views, dude.
Had some amazing takeover match. I mean, it's crazy. But for me, top to bottom, Slammiversary for me was probably the best one of the year. Just for me, personal opinion. But I mean, again, the way that Impact built towards Slammiversary. And not only did they build towards it, but they delivered. And then not only did they deliver for Slammiversary, they have knocked it out of the park for the entire year. Period. There's no, if you've watched Impact, there's no question they've knocked it out of the park. So so Slammiversary for me.
I'm gonna have to agree with Jeff here. And some of NXT's pay-per-views were like War Games this year was amazing.
Oh God, yeah.
War Games was unbelievable. So there, and the takeover that they had, I mentioned that women's match at the takeover. So the In Your House, I mean, they had some amazing pay-per-views as well, no question. But yeah, I mean, Impact for me. Look, we knew when these cuts happened. On Black Wednesday, as a lot of people like to refer to it, when the cuts all happened, we knew that a lot of people were going to get scattered, and a lot of those athletes were going to end up in Impact Wrestling. And when we did see them start making their way in, a lot of them made their way in during Slammiversary, and it, like Jeff said, top to bottom. When you want to talk about, when you're talking about a pay-per-view, top to bottom. There, not one bad match, not one match where, like I said earlier, is a yawner and you could just say, I'm going for some Doritos because I could take or leave this match. There wasn't. And when you have a show like that, man, that's when you know you've got a killer show. And it was absolutely amazing. And when you remember matches from some of these events, that's awesome. Big Boy Dally said, I like the 2-night system. Do you think they'll do it again? If there are fans, no. Because they can't do it where they're going to pay these fans to come twice, or have fans pay to come twice rather for tickets for 2 days. No, I don't think so. If there's still COVID and they don't have fans, then very possible. It's not a bad idea. I like it because, again, they can break it up and it doesn't seem like it's just one big super long show that goes from 7 o'clock until midnight in most cases, where by the time you're just done, you're just done. It's just too much. I think, great choices. But like Jeff said, yeah, I'm gonna say Impact, and I'm sorry, Slammiversary for Impact. I think was my choice for this year's as well. Some people are saying Super Showdown. Some people are saying most of you Super Showdown. Is that what you said? Pay-per-view of the year was Super Show. That's Eric Buchanan. Oh, of course.
Okay, I know why now.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah,
I think
of
Bruce
course.
at AEW Revolution.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Oh, man.
Yeah.
But I think most of you agree. Some people are saying Slammiversary. Yeah. Texas-based wrestling fans saying Slammiversary is the best pay-per-view ever. Yeah, man. Awesome. It was absolutely a great year for pay-per-views. And again, like I said, hats off to all of them. For giving us some shows that really, really entertained us and kept us watching throughout this entire time, kept everything interesting enough to want to watch these shows. So, all right. What is next, Jeff? What's our next award? Oh, nice.
Tag Team of the Year.
Near and dear to this man's heart. I love my tag team wrestling, man. I always have and always will. I've condemned people because they don't have tag team wrestling as much as they should. WWE. Yeah, I this one again. I love this award. Who are you picking, guys? Who are you picking? Who was your tag team of the year? 2020, Jeff. Who is our winner? Oh, look at who won. Look at who won. The North. The North are the winners of our tag team of the year. You guys voted, and the North are our winners from Impact Wrestling. Man, you can't argue. You can't argue. They had a killer year. I mean, they ripped it up with matches with the Motor City Machine Guns that I will never forget. And are two of my favorite matches of the year, without a doubt. And they were on our list for that award a little bit later on for their match against the Motor City Machine Guns. So, man, Ethan Page, Josh Alexander absolutely deserved this, and they killed it this year. And so many good things. Then, of course, they got into the feud with the Good Brothers a little bit later on. They were amazing, and these guys are an absolutely amazing tag team. PWI recognized them. I think they were 3 or 4 on their list of tag teams for the year, but they were right up there with some of the others. Now, our second place winner, I believe, was the Street Profits. The Street Profits were second place, and great year, absolutely great year. I mean, they still have those belts. They've held on to those for quite some time. So, yeah, they had some amazing stuff going on. That thing with the Viking Raiders that they were doing was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, obviously the New Day was on there. And don't forget about Sasha and Bayley. Sasha and Bayley with those belts as well. They held those belts for a good while as well for, the Bayley 2 belts. So, yeah, man, good year for tag team wrestling. AEW's killing it with tag team wrestling as well. You had some amazing matches there. Also, you had FTR over there. Of course, the Young Bucks over there. Jurassic Express over there. Lots and lots of tag team stuff going on over there also. And then Impact now with the women's tag team division coming back and going for that Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Man, I love it. Again, warming this old man's heart seeing tag team wrestling brought back into the forefront, man. But you guys voted, and the North are our winners. What'd you think, Jeff?
Listen, man, I can't argue. I can't argue because they absolutely killed it.
Yep.
It was a continuation from 2019.
Yep.
You can mention the Bucks. You can mention, all the great tag teams, FTR. I mean, honestly, Hangman Page and Kenny Omega.
Yeah, another great.
You can mention them as well, but
yep.
while I really respect this pick, it was a tie for me
Okay.
between and I'm cheating here, but I can because my face is a part of the logo, so I'm cheating. Three-way tie. The North, the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Good Brothers for me.
Yeah.
Those three I couldn't really pick between. Because honestly, I mean, they all had great matches against one another.
Yep.
In Impact. So yeah. I have no idea what's going on in the chat. Somebody talking about
guys, just chill out. Come on. Let's all be, we're here for an award show. Let's not get carried away. It's supposed to be fun. Everyone have fun out there. Don't, come on now.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, those three teams for me were just, I mean, they own the year, and I mean, again, Street Profits were great.
Yep.
New Day they were good. But yeah, I mean, those three from Impact. And you can call me an Impact homer, that's fine, but I don't care.
Yeah.
They do good stuff, so.
If I would have put anybody up there, again, great choices. All of them were great. Motor City Machine Guns had an amazing year. So I would never, I would not argue with you one bit about that. The Good Brothers had a great year as well. Of course, the champions now did a lot of stuff outside the ring, and we'll never forget Talking Shop. So they had a stellar year as well. If I would say anybody would replace, and I love the vote. I'm going to go with the North as my pick, but I would have popped up. I would have popped up Bailey and Sasha up there as well. And maybe next year we can have a females, male and female. Maybe we'll separate them. Hey, give me more tag team. If maybe we'll have a male and a female and have two different ones. But if there were, I would have said Bailey and Sasha, because I think they were really good together, and they held those belts, and I thought they were really, really awesome. Great heel tag team. So, let's all calm down out there, guys. It's just an award show. It doesn't matter who you like and who you don't. It's just a silly little award show.
So Joe, did you see the frog splash from Snoop Dogg last night?
Yeah, that was really bad.
Someone in the chat last night said Snoop Dogg did a frog splash.
Yep.
And I made a joke. I was like, "Oh, what do you mean? He dropped his joint in his drink, and he dropped the green in his drink, and that was a frog splash." Is that what we're calling it now? And no, I wish that's what it was, because I saw that crap and it was terrible.
It was rough. Yeah, it was bad.
I don't know what's worse, him doing that or the way Eminem destroyed him on Zeus.
Yeah,
on his latest thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Snoop is not good at the. I honestly thought he was going to go off the top rope. I thought he was going to fall right off.
Yeah, I thought he was going to fall.
Because the way he was standing up there, I'm like, oh man, if he doesn't slip off that rope and just go head over heels backwards, oh dude. Elijah saying, imagine the North in AEW. Yeah, I mean, that could be something down the road that may happen. Absolutely. I mean, they're of course they're not wrestling as a tag team now, as we've heard. But Josh said on our show that they certainly will be back together again someday, and I have no doubt that will be the case. So, all right, what is next?
All right, my friend. Match of the year.
Match of the year. All right, man. Shout them out. Who is or what is your match of the year? What match is on the top of your mind when you think of the best match you have seen in 2020? What one stands out for you? So, Jeff, what is the match of the year?
Match of the year is voted on by you guys. The Bone.
There it is. There it is again. So, match of the year. We talked about this earlier. We mentioned this, of course, from WrestleMania. It was an amazing match to watch. It was completely different from anything we have seen before. And the fact that look, none of us were sure what was coming. We saw where they would. We heard about it. We heard, they're kind of filming off site. They're not doing, and we didn't know what was going to happen. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to have a ring out in the middle of the, somewhere. They're going to have, Then we heard the swamp fight. Okay, so are they going to be in, out in the wilderness, out in the boneyard? What you thinking? Is it going to be in a cemetery? Are they going to be in a So, when you heard all this stuff, you really didn't know what was coming, and then what we got was just incredible. And it was an incredible match. And we were talking about it for days and weeks afterwards. So you guys voted the Boneyard match. I'm trying to think. Some of the other matches that we had, obviously, we had in there Motor City Machine Guns versus the North. One of the choices was Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles.
Oh, that one on SmackDown.
Yeah, and it wasn't a pay-per-view. It was just a SmackDown match. And that was an amazing match. Edge versus Orton at Mania, says Texas Base. Yeah. The best wrestling match ever, I think that was billed as.
Yeah, the greatest wrestling match
wrestling match ever. Yeah, and that was a cinematic match as well. So, I mean, there were some really good matches this year. We got you go to the Impact side of it. We had Eric Young and Rich Swann. They had some absolutely amazing matches over in Impact as well. So, what did you guys vote for here? A lot of you are saying the Boneyard. C says it has to be the greatest wrestling match ever, just to keep up kayfabe, right? Yeah, that's true. Daniel versus AJ was great stuff, said Buttersport. Yeah, that was a tremendous match. Absolutely a tremendous match. Goldberg versus Fiend. Good God, Days fan. If that was one of your greatest matches, man, you got to watch more wrestling, buddy. Big Boy says Keith Lee versus Adam Cole at the Great American Bash, I feel, is underrated. Yeah, man, Keith Lee had an incredible year and some great matches. No disrespect, Walter versus Dragon for NXT UK. Very great point, Elijah. It was an amazing match. Absolutely amazing match. And I'm sure that a lot of people are going to pick that. You will see a lot of the wrestling shows and wrestling critics will pick that match because it was absolutely an amazing match. Bruce says Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and the Young Bucks. Yes, absolutely great match. Sonny Wolf said I voted for Edge versus Orton. Rhea versus Raquel, says Eric. They have had some fantastic matches, without a doubt, man. No answer is a wrong answer here, guys, because it's so hard to pick this. Because this is gonna come from what you enjoy and what you love to see. Like I said, for me, I'm going to go back and I'll just say right now, this for me is because I'll never forget the Boneyard match. But to me, I kind of separated it a little bit because it was a cinematic match. So that's kind of what I awarded this as. But mine is going to be that tag team match between the North and Motor City Machine Guns, just for the fact that I will never forget it. I thought tag team wrestling was dead. I really did. When WWE was all that there was out there, I thought the tag team wrestling was dead because I thought to myself, you know what? They don't care. They just give it to one team like the New Day, which New Day is great. Don't get me wrong. They're awesome. But they carry the belts for so many months and doesn't really feel like there's any threat. And the same with the Street Profits. They carried the belts. They were great. They're entertaining as hell. I love Montez Ford. I think he's hilarious. But they carried them for so long that, again, you just don't have the buildup. You don't have the buildup to people who you think can come and take those titles away. So for me, I'm sorry, man, but those matches between both of them, between the North and Motor City Machine Guns, was a clinic of tag team wrestling. How I remember tag team wrestling from the 70s, from the 80s. tagging partners out, working on one guy in that corner forever and ever and ever, and then singling people out, not spending all the time diving in and out of the ring, and then you're fighting outside the ring for well over the time that the referee should have counted you out. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to have, and that is why that is my choice for match of the year. So, What about you, Jeff?
Man, I kind of separated the cinematic matches as well. For me, I'll tell folks where I was, what I was choosing between, and then I'll kind of reveal my answer here. But FTR and Hangman, Adam Page, and Kenny Omega, I thought was great.
Tremendous.
I know a lot of people said it went a little too long for their taste and it started out slow.
Yep.
But for me, I was a fan of it because it was building the entire time, which I really like in a story like that. Yep. Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo, the Iron Woman match that they had at Emergence, I believe. That was tremendous for me.
That was a great match. Yeah, absolutely.
But honestly, for me, and it was a late entry, and it had a lot of different implications. Rich Swann and Chris Bay.
Great match.
That match at Final Resolution was absolute insanity.
Yep.
It was just, from bell to bell, it was just one-upsmanship the entire time. The entire time. It was tremendous.
Yep.
And next, when we do this again, unless something crazy happens, I'm probably going to have an entry from New Japan next year this time. But, but we'll see what happens. But, yeah, those two guys put on such a clinic in that match. And, it was one of those things where I was kind of done. I'll be honest with you. I was ready to put actually Edge and Randy Orton up there.
Yep.
Until I saw that match. And then, you also have EY against Rich Swann. That match was crazy.
Yep.
But for me, Rich Swann, Chris Bay, that was my match of the year. And and me being a former wrestler myself and knowing the business, as I do, and the history behind that match for me, the first time that two men of color, African Americans, headlining a pay-per-view for a title, it just had so many things that meant a lot to me. So yeah, that's my match of the year.
Yeah, man. God, I can't argue. It was a fantastic match. They had everybody talking. Everybody after that match. People from other companies were saying how amazing that match was. People in their own company saying that they can't wait to wrestle these guys. Stellar. Absolutely stellar. Elijah was talking about that match a little bit as well. I love the greatest wrestling match ever, says Rusty. Yeah, man. Look, there's so many. And again, this is something that you guys are going to remember from watching wrestling in 2020. Such a trying year that it was, and the fact that you got a little bit of entertainment during a year that was so tough is pretty awesome. Elijah says Ali versus Ricochet. They had some amazing matches. Absolutely some amazing matches. Gail Kim versus Tessa Blanchard, says Chad Schrader. There was such amazing. There were so many matches that it's very, very, very difficult to pick just the one. But yeah, some great choices, man. Absolutely, some great choices. Do we have any awards left, Jeff?
We have 2 awards left.
We have 2 to go. All right, what is next?
Faction of the year.
Nice. Faction of the year, guys. Who is, obviously, if this were the past, we would have been talking about the NWO. We would have been talking about D-Generation X. We would have been talking about the Bullet Club. We would have been, and we're talking about the Bullet Club again. But so many cool factions. The Hard Foundation. I mean, they were a tag team, but yes, so many cool factions.
It's a lot, man.
Who was your faction of the year and who won, Jeff?
All right, man. Hey, business is booming right now.
Well deserved. well deserved. The Hurt Business. Yes. Man, they had just an incredible year. Absolutely incredible year on a show that hasn't been the best show out there. Raw has been not looked upon as being a great show for quite some time now, and it doesn't look like the draft changed it much. So these guys have held up their end of the bargain. They went along with some really questionable storylines. Got shoved into that whole thing with Raw Underground, and yet they somehow made it work. And a lot of that, like Jeff said earlier, has to do with the return of MVP. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? When you heard he was coming back, people were like, meh, what do I care about MVP? He was never really, people were thinking, it's not really that much. He was never a big deal. But he is the mouthpiece of this group. And like Jeff said, he made guys who weren't relevant in a long time relevant again. Including Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley was coming off some really bad defeats. Man, it wasn't long. Do you guys even remember Bobby Lashley being in that awful Lana storyline with Rusev?
Good grief. That started in 2020.
You can't put anybody in a worse
coronavirus started because of that crappy storyline.
You can't stick anyone in a worse storyline than that. And the fact that he overcame it, and joined up with these guys, and now look at them. They've got the gold, man. They've got, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. This was the faction that they chose to basically fight Retribution. When Retribution was being pushed, these guys were bigger, and that's almost kind of what killed Retribution in a way, because nobody believed it. Nobody thought that Retribution was going to go down there and beat this team. So they were the bullies to the bullies, let's just say. But yeah, Hurt Business had an amazing year, and some amazing T-shirts, as Jeff would attest. Yes. Some amazing merch from this team as well. Well deserved. And there were some other good ones. Some of the other ones that got some votes, of course, Inner Circle in AEW. Dark Order was up there. The Dark Order, I think, finished second, actually, in AEW. And, hey, man, I joined the Dark Order when it first came out. I loved those opening vignettes. Those vignettes we got with the Dark Order, with the guys going to the meetings and stuff like that, were amazing. They were off the hook. I wished it would have been a little bit better follow-up. But the Dark Order was amazing. So yeah, we started to kind of see, and again, it's cool to see, because we're getting a faction with Eric Young. We're getting an Eric Young faction with Joe Doring. Oh man, dude. Yeah, that's going to be amazing stuff, man. And we're starting to see now that factions are making their way back into wrestling again. And dude, I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, you guys know, factions have carried some of these companies. I mean, the Four Horsemen, going back to them, and just, like I was saying earlier, DX, just so many of these, these factions have carried these companies over the course of many, many, many years. And it's just great to see them back. I can't argue with this pick, Jeff, and I won't. They have really carried a less than stellar Raw show, and they've all had absolutely amazing years.
Yeah. Here's what's really funny about this is way back when in 2020, when I was writing for Sportskeeda, I wrote a column saying that the Hurt Business was exactly what WWE needed at the time.
Yep.
and that they were the next hot faction in wrestling. And the amount of hate that I got for that column was absolutely ridiculous. And I, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll wait. And one day someone's going to say, you know what? Maybe he was right about that. Listen, I mean, I saw it when these guys first teamed up, especially when Lashley and MVP first teamed up. It was like, wow, you know, these two guys, they've got some magic. I already knew their history from back in Impact when they worked with each other there. So I kind of already knew what could happen if WWE allowed it. And they let it happen. And listen, two things I want from Hurt Business in 2021. One, Naomi. Gotta have it.
Yeah, you got it. That's a no-brainer. They've got to get a female in this group. Yeah, there's no question about it. It's a no-brainer. Absolutely.
No brainer. The other thing, because I know a split is coming. We all know a split is coming.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing a rift right now between Shelton and Cedric.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing. Woods or Keith Lee?
Oh, dude. Yeah, look at Elijah just said Keith Lee at the exact same time. Look at that. Just like that. Oh, I see. That's why factions are so great, guys, because sometimes these superstars that are out there on their own, they just need a little push. They just need that little extra, and sometimes join in a faction. And what do you always had in factions? You had enforcers. You had the big men that were in these factions, and you had, right now it's Lashley, yes, but if there is a split, why not be Keith Lee? If Keith Lee's not involved in a title picture, man, why not? The dude would make an amazing. Could you imagine him in a suit coming down there? Oh, that would be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome. Oh man, would be so good. And yeah, Jeff, I agree, man. I can't. And somebody mentioned yeah, Big Dan, Undisputed Era, no doubt. Yeah, Undisputed Era was amazing, and they have been for quite some time.
John Ricky's bringing up Bullet Club from New Japan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was in there. That was actually some people voted for that too in our poll. Yeah, no doubt. The fact that they're keeping that going in New Japan, and then Undisputed Era has been on top since they've been on top for a while, man. So no, absolutely can't forget about that. McAfee's group as well. Pat McAfee started his own. But yeah, man, it's so cool. I love to see factions formed. I always love them because the storylines around them are amazing. So it's just great. Yeah, and like I said, to Jeff's point, I think that they're going to go nowhere but up because I think WWE is all in with them, and I think they're just going to keep building it. So let's see what the future holds for these guys. It's absolutely cool, and I love it. I can't wait to see more. All right.
It's a more business-minded Nation of Domination.
It is.
Think of it in those terms.
That's true.
It's more of a business-minded, we can beat you down and we can break you, but we have the intellect to be able to, always one-up you and be one step ahead, but we can also keep you behind too. So
yeah, very true. Awesome. All right, guys. This is it. This is our last award of the night. So again, before we award this one, thank you to all of you who voted. Thank you to all of you who voted on the Twitter polls that we had out there. But yes, so best storyline of the year for 2020. Now, man, this is like match of the year. So many of them. I know a lot of you are going to say the Fiend because all Bray does is work storylines. So hard not to think of that. What was the vote for best storyline of the year, Jeff? Yes. Yeah. What can I say? I've admitted this time and time again. I was never a big Roman fan. I'm just not, and I don't really know why. I don't hate the guy. Look, I think he's a great athlete. He's gonna be up there. But I don't know. I just think maybe just because of so many times he's just got kind of been forced down people's throats by Vince, and that's to no fault of his own. I mean, the man's gonna do what he's told to do. The man's gonna, and why not? When he's putting him in the spotlight, when he's giving him the title, hey, why not, man? You always have to think you're the best, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this was what everyone wanted to see from the time he showed up and speared Braun Strowman and then speared The Fiend. This is what people wanted to see, was a heel Roman Reigns. Well, you got it. You got what you wanted, and you got it in spades. When you saw him align himself with Paul Heyman, another oh my God moment of the year too, because again, no one saw that coming. And when you saw him walking around with Heyman, man, like holy, and then this whole thing with the family and Jey Uso, and I mean, it's akin to, people compare it to mafia storylines, which I agree with. I think so, and I you could see Roman's the Don, and the other guys are just family members, and you do what the Don tells you to do. This is. There were so many great storylines, man. There just so many, and some of the other ones, of course, was I know Fiend and Alexa got votes. What else was out there? And just, I mean, there were just a lot of great storylines out there that kept everybody interested. The McAfee thing was a great storyline with Adam Cole. Impact had who shot Johnny Bravo. I mean, Wrestle House, so Impact had some good stuff going on. AEW, of course, now with the Sting stuff, they had some stuff going on. Of course, Taz's faction over there. I mean, so
forget about Sammy and Matt.
Sammy and Matt, yes. I mean, you also have the Inner Circle, the stuff with MJF and Jericho that was going on in AEW as well. So many good things that people had, and some of these writers have written. We tend to, and we just do as fans, you tend to get down on the bad stuff because the bad stuff seems to be really bad, and you tend to dwell on that. But there were a lot of great storylines that were written this year for some of these people, and Roman, yeah. As much as I'd hate to say it, I would probably, if this were my vote, I would give mine to Bray and Alexa. Just because for me as a fan, I didn't see it coming. I never would have seen that coming, where Bray would come out and mandible claw Alexa Bliss. Never in a million years did I see that coming. If you could surprise me with something, that's awesome. So I would have said Bray and Alexa, because I just love what they're doing. And I think this, even more so for Bray, I think this has been fantastic for Alexa Bliss. Absolutely fantastic. And people are saying that she is killing it. And she is. She absolutely is. That scene with Randy Orton, which we got no resolution to, was amazing. Her acting in that scene was absolutely awesome, and she has really killed it. So for me, I would have said Bray and Alexa, but that's just my vote. Guys are yelling out some stuff. Omega and Hangman Page. What else are we seeing out there? MJF and Inner Circle. Yes, Elijah. I thought originally the jeers when Roman was face was "Go away, Heat." Not, we want you to become a heel, Heat, says Butterspark. Yes. Tommy Dreamer, talking about Tommy Dreamer, and I mean, the Johnny Bravo stuff was amazing, absolutely amazing. I thought that was fantastic. Edge and Randy feud was fire for a good bit, dude. Yeah. The ambulance match. Whoever wrote the ambulance match, I marked out during that entire match when those legends came back and got him back for what he did. They came back and attacked Randy. Amazing stuff. The eye for an eye stuff with Rey Mysterio and Seth. how many times are people going to lose eyes? Yeah. I mean, some of that stuff was awesome. Yeah, there were so many cool things to remember about 2020 in wrestling. And this was what you voted. Jeff, what's your choice, and do you agree with the vote?
I mean, I can't argue with it.
Yeah.
I definitely cannot argue with Roman because, I mean, ever since he showed up at SummerSlam, he has been on top of the mountain.
Yep.
It's just a fact. He's been the guy.
Yep.
There are a couple things that, for me, I love the Kenny Omega Hangman storyline in AEW.
Yeah.
Because every single week we were like, okay, Kenny's going to turn this week.
Yeah.
Turn.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, well, Adam's going to turn next week. And then he doesn't turn. And then you see him with FTR, at the bar. You're like, okay, this has got to be the week. They're going to form some type of 4 horsemen type faction.
Yep.
And then they don't. And it's like, okay. And it just kept you going on, on and on and on. But honestly, what Roman has done has not only carried and elevated SmackDown, but it has revitalized his career, because what he's doing right now as a heel, I mean, there's not too many better than him in wrestling, period. I'm not talking about WWE. I'm talking about professional wrestling, period.
Yeah.
Name me 3 or 4 better heels than Roman right now, and we can debate it. But I mean, who else is doing better than Roman right now?
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. It's hard to argue. The storyline they wrote for him to come back to, give him Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman really hasn't even been that big of a mouthpiece for him. You kind of thought that, okay, well, maybe Heyman's going to be the guy that's going to be the one that's coming out and talking all the time like he did for Brock Lesnar. He's not. He's just kind of standing back and just watching, kind of handing him the belt and stuff like that. And, so he's definitely not doing that. So the fact that you saw, him come in was just amazing. But like Jeff said, when you see, like he was talking about Hangman Page and Kenny, when you're on the edge of your seat week to week to week, and you're not sure, and you're thinking to yourself, and it becomes a thing where the dirt sheets start talking about it, and everybody's talking about it. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? When we do Abby's window, Jeff and Jody do Abby's, that's what they're talking about all the time. So when you're talking about what's coming next, and that becomes a thing where everybody wants to and can't wait to hear what's going to happen next, that's a great storyline. And that's really what we saw in a lot of these choices. And yeah, man, you can't argue with Roman because, again, no one saw it coming. Nobody even saw him coming. Nobody knew he was coming back when he came back. Everybody knew why he was out, but no one saw him coming at that point in time with Fiend and Braun. No one saw that coming. Out of the blue, you just see this shadow come into the ring. You're like, oh my God, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? So, yeah, Roman, that storyline's killing it. Like I said, for me, it was Bray and Alexa, just because of the fear, the fact that, again, for me, I did not see that coming. So, man, well, there you go. There you go. That is our wrestling awards show for 2020. The chat was getting a little crazy, a little fighting out there. There's no reason to fight. It's all good. It's just an award show. It's just an award show, guys. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. Jesse, you can fire off a couple little things to maybe get us in a better mood as we leave the show. I gave you some homework. I don't know if you heard me, but I was saying come come up with a couple jokes that have awards themes or prizes themes. I'm not sure if you heard it. If you didn't, it's okay. Just give us a couple anyway before we go, like we usually always do on a Thursday. Get everybody back on the happy mood. Big Boy Dally says amazing show. Thank you. Hayden says amazing stream. Thank you. Hey, really appreciate that. This was some good shit. It was. It was. Yeah, it was fun. We enjoyed doing this. It's nostalgia for Jeff and I because again, it goes back to our beginnings and goes back to where we started and where we started this last year. And it's so crazy to even think that we are where we are in this year and doing this. And this is the second one we're doing. It's really, really amazing. What about Ali? And are you talking about Retribution, Eric? Yeah.
We forgot to give promo of the year. And that goes to Chris.
Yes. Yeah.
For all his insight, for all his Manscaped promo.
How could we not? I mean, Chris started that, and then everybody else kind of followed afterwards, and then now there are other people doing it. So, yeah, man.
And I may or may not have popped into Tazzy's chat earlier for NXT UK, and for anyone that was in there, they know I got a little bit rowdy when it came to the Manscaped promos. So just
nice.
gonna.
Nice. See what you started, Chris. See what you started. Look, it's fun stuff. It's fun stuff, and you get a little bit of laughs and a little bit of fun. There's nothing wrong with that. Scott Steiner math, best promo ever. They show that almost every week now on Impact. And it's hilarious every damn time that you watch it. Every damn time. So many wrestlers back in like the 80s. The 80s were such a great decade for promos, man. When they would come out and you'd see Macho Man rambling about the craziest, I'm gonna bring the thunder and the lightning down, yeah. And going on, and then Hulk Hogan with his ramblings that he'd have, and Jake the Snake with his creepy ass promos, and it was such
trying to translate what in the world Ultimate Warrior was saying.
Oh my God! Oh God! Yeah, I mean you just I mean, good Lord!
Intergalactic stars of the battlefield, brother. What are you talking about?
Oh my God! Yeah, you had no clue. You had no clue where he was going with that stuff.
Oh,
so yeah,
Dusty. Listen, here's some homework. Here's some homework for the younger people in the stream. Go to YouTube.
Yep.
Type in "Hard Times" promo by Dusty Rhodes.
Oh.
And then come back to us next week when we have our show, and let's have a discussion about the Hard Times promo by Dusty Rhodes. That promo, like that, God.
Yep.
Like I get goosebumps just thinking about that promo.
Yep. Yeah, man. We'll have to we'll have to give out an award for promo next year. We'll have to do that. We'll have to do that next year for sure. All right, Jesse. Well, you're up. You can give us a couple of jokes for the road if you have anything ready. Like I said, if you have anything that were themed for, awards or prizes, whatever. If you have anything like that, if not, that's cool too. Whatever you want to do. Rock promo 97 when he left Rocky Maivia. Rock's promos are always amazing. That man can cut a promo on anything. Rock can cut a promo on cut grass, and it would be amazing. The Rock just has that gift. He absolutely has the gift to be able to do that. Some people just have it when it comes to promos, man. They really do. Remember when Dustin burned the gold dust on Raw? Oh God, yes, I do. Yeah, man, so good. We'll have an award for that next year. So, Jesse, can you scrape anything up for us before we head out for the night? Let us know. I don't know if you're driving home. Obviously, if you are, let us know that too, because I don't want you to be doing that when you're driving. So let us know if you can. If not, it's perfectly fine. We kind of put you on the spot. So, oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Callan Corner number 1. I need all of my characters for it, so watch carefully. Was that? Oh, was that? Was that? No, I'm confused. You numbered that number 1. Was that a joke, Jesse? I need all of my characters for it, so watch carefully. Wait, am I not getting something? Am I supposed to be looking at that weird? Like what's? I'm not. I have no idea.
Okay.
What am I doing wrong here? Did it go way over my head?
Here you go.
Okay, here we go. An outdoorsman was sitting in his kayak when it started to get cold. He decided to light a fire in the kayak, but naturally it sank, proving once again that you can't have your kayak and heat it too. Oh, very nice. That's awesome. You can't have your kayak and heat it too. I love it. That's awesome. Here comes number 2. I love it. While Jesse's warming up the band, don't forget to join us. Don't forget to actually join Tazzy tomorrow night for his tailgate and, of course, his after party for SmackDown. So make sure you join him for those. Of course, enjoy SmackDown tomorrow night, those of you that will be watching it. And then on Saturday, don't forget to come and join us for Genesis because it promises to be a really, really fun show. If you watched Impact with us the other night, you got a glimpse that 4-way match that started that whole event of what we are in store for on Saturday. So, all right, here's number 2. I want to die peacefully in my sleep like my grandfather, not screaming and yelling like the passengers in his car. Oh!
Wow.
That was good.
Wow.
No, that was good. That was good. I loved it. Nice. Very cool. That was good. Liked it. Oh, man. But yeah, join us for Genesis. If you don't already have Impact Plus, go out and get it. Or watch it along on Fight TV and make sure you join us for that on Saturday night. Should be a great show. We will start. Oh, I'm guessing DJ B Tazzy said new graphics for the tailgate and after party tomorrow. Nice, dude. Nice. Can't wait to see what you've got in store. So that's what I have, and I hope you all like them. LOL says Jesse, we did. Yeah, great stuff, Jesse. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But yeah, so we're done. Those are the T.I.G.S awards for 2020. Hope you all had a good time. I know we did. Really appreciate you coming out and watching our show tonight, and hope you will be here with us for Saturday night and Genesis for Impact. I think it's going to be a really great show. And obviously, keep your eyes out. If you haven't subbed to the channel and you're new, please go and do so. Obviously, like the video before you head out tonight. And if you would, share our videos with anyone you think that would enjoy the stuff as well. And also hit that notification button if you want to know when we are going to be on next. And with the month of January, you may be surprised with some things, so make sure you do hit that because you're not going to know. Maybe some of the things that we will be doing might be different than we have done before, so make sure you do that because there is some just craziness going on in January. We will be back next Thursday with our normal podcast, and we will kind of try to wrap up what we have seen for these past couple of weeks. It's going to be a lot, man. With New Japan, with what we saw on AEW last night with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, and what we're going to see on Impact Genesis on Saturday, and what is going on in SmackDown and Raw next week. So getting closer to the Rumble, we'll have a big show for you to kind of talk about that and the news and the headlines and wrap that all up for you next week as well. Again, make sure you're joining Tazzy and checking out Tazzy's stuff tomorrow. And then, of course, Tazzy will be with us on Saturday night for Genesis. So make sure you are here with us for Impact Wrestling. Back with Abby's Window on Monday will be Jody and Jeff. And then, of course, we will be back on Tuesday night for Impact and then Thursday night with our regular podcast and then another pay-per-view next Saturday night. That's the big one. That is a big, big, big event. And we will be bringing it to you next Saturday. So it is close, man. It is close. All right, guys, that is it. Thanks so much. Again, thank you to Jeff for creating some amazing graphics tonight for the show, as always. Came up with those pictures, the awards and stuff like that. I'm going to be sending out some recap banners tonight of who won. So I'll send those out on Twitter if you didn't get to watch the entire show, or if you just kind of want to find out who won and you want to keep and reminisce about the show. They will be out there for you as soon as we get out of here. So as I always say, guys, have a great rest of your night and stay safe. And we hope we will see you soon. Take care and good night, all. See you later.
Look at you. Was that you?
Go home.
Go home. What are you doing? Just go home. Go home. My wife was looking at that picture saying, was that you? Like,
See you guys later.
that's Ferris me. Good night, all. Bye.